Hello, and welcome back to Blue Collar Watches. This is a particular brand that I'm rather excited, rather pleased to add to my collection. This is the Hamilton JazzMaster H42565151. It's an automatic. This has what they call the H40 movement in it. I really believe that the Tissot and the Hamilton movement, they're probably the same. The Tissot calls it the Powermatic 80. The Hamilton calls it the H40. It's their own brand of the ETA movement. And instead of it running at 4 hertz, it runs at 3, giving it a 80-hour power reserve. Tissot and Hamilton are sister companies now. They are owned by the Swatch Group. So it's probably essentially the same movement, shared technology. I don't know that to be factual. I'm just, because they're sister companies. It is a Swiss watch brand. I was really excited to add this. I'm trying to step up my game, get better quality watches. Nothing wrong with AliExpress watches. I want to add better quality watches. The seller, I want to add this in there real quick. The seller that I bought this off of on Amazon, Clockwise is the name of the seller. I had messaged him back and forth extensively before I bought this watch because I call this a mini grail. It's not really so much a grail. It's just a lot of money for me personally to spend on a watch. I did get a really exceptional deal on this watch. I paid $439 for this watch. If you search this watch on, if you Google it, most places it's going to come up for, I'm going to say probably 90% plus, it's going to come up between $700 and $1,000. I was concerned that maybe I was getting a used watch, a shop-worn watch, and he assured me you're getting a brand new watch, and it is packaged as a brand new watch. And I had previously purchased, because the deal sounded too good to be true, but I had previously purchased from this guy before, so I went ahead and pulled the trigger. I figure it's Amazon. If it's not what it represents itself to be, I can always return it. And it's everything that it has been represented to be. The one thing I would like to point out about this seller, I'm not used to this. I have a signed warranty card. I'm not used to buying a watch anywhere and getting a signed warranty card. Pretty pleased with that. Let me get the plastic off the watch and size it, and then we'll get into the particulars. Okay, so here it is, sized, all the plastic peeled off and ready to go. Let me state, if you are not accustomed to sizing your own bands, if you're not practiced at it, if you don't have a toolkit, take this watch to a jeweler. This has the pin and collar system, and they are smaller than the Seikos that I have done. This was pretty much a pain in the ass to size, but it's sized and ready to go. But I threw a few mother effers out there, and because if you've done the pin and collar system, a lot of times you end up losing the collar, and I've suggested this before, and I knew this beforehand. Get like a shoebox lid and do it inside a shoebox lid. That way, if you lose a piece, it doesn't end up rolling away, and you're much quicker to find it. That's just my personal suggestion. If you can find an old shoebox lid, something to keep those pieces from rolling away. Very much a pain in the ass to adjust, but it's done. I don't know why these, if you're just going to still put pins in there and not use screws, I don't know why they do that. I don't find it to be a better system. I find it to be an annoying system. But it's done. And once again, that's a sharp watch. It's kind of like a off-white, the dial. Off-white, kind of like an ivory. This watch is only 50 meters, so it's only 5 bar. It's 42 millimeters in diameter, 11 millimeters thick, 22 millimeter band. I'm kind of on the fence about whether or not to upgrade this band. You know, you buy a more expensive watch, I would like to have a milled clasp. I may upgrade this to a nice quality milled clasp band, but it is a sharp watch. Pretty decorated on the back. I'm getting some good light here. I like the rotor, laser etched, all that. No blue screws, but it does have some gold tone screws in there. You know, they made an attempt at pretty ended up making it nice. I'm not a big fan of these clasps, but it's functional. It works. You know, when you start spending more money, I really wish that they would spend an extra $20 on the band, because you're paying a lot more for the watch. Again, this is the H40 movement in here. It runs at 21.6 beats per hour. It's the EDA that has been toned down from 4 Hertz to 3 Hertz. Okay, so here goes my Lume shot on the Hamilton. And I really like this because this is a dress/cocktail watch, but it does have Lume, and it's pretty nice actually. Look at the Lume on that watch. It appears to have good staying power. And I'm not used to my dress/cocktail watches having Lume on them, so pretty cool. Like it. Okay, so that was the Lume shot. Like this Lume, I have several dress watches. I can tell you pretty much if, you know, I'm in a suit and dressed up and we're going out, this is probably going to be my new go-to. This and my Seiko Presage. Maybe it's just because I paid more for this. But I really wanted to add a Hamilton, and I'm really glad that I did. I felt like I was able to do this in a much more affordable way. Okay. Does have sapphire. A little disappointed, a little depressed. Get this thing open. I wish that they would do double sapphire. You spend all that, oh, you know what? It is reacting a little bit. Look, now it's making a liar on it. I don't really think that's sapphire, though. Maybe it's partially sapphire coated or something. Don't really know. Good looking watch. This is now the most expensive watch in my collection. I plan on kind of sort of taking the channel in a different direction. I don't hate AliExpress watches. I just feel like if I'm going to spend money just to make a video, then I need to maybe save up some money and buy a better quality watch. Not that these are going to be heirlooms or whatever, but I don't want at some point, someday, you know, people will say, oh man, he's got a bunch of $50 watches in his box. I want to have some better stuff. Not that I'm a snob, I'm far from it. I'm just evolving in my collecting, and I want better, higher quality watches. Not that this is something super superior, but it actually, to me, it is, because at this price point. But Hamilton appears to be painted on. Automatic appears to be painted on. All the batons are applied, and they all have Lume to them. Lume on the hands. And I think this dial is cool. I don't really know what color you would really call that. It's kind of like a silver ivory, I guess. Good looking watch though. Very pleased to have this in my collection. Signed crown, of course. Large enough that you can get a hold of it. Watch does hat. You know, 2 positions for adjusting there. The fit and finish on this watch, it's all a very polished finish. The band is okay. Again, if you're not used to adjusting your own bands, or if you want to attempt to do it yourself, I save all my old pins and collars and links. I have these boxes that other watches have come in. They're full of. So I have, from some Seikos, I have the pin and collars. I think I stated this earlier. These pin and collars are slightly smaller than the Seikos I have. So if you lose these pieces, you're probably, if you're like me and you save stuff, I'm sure a lot of other collectors that subscribe to me, they do the same thing. They save the pins, they save the collars. They're not going to fit. This Hamilton size is just a hair smaller. I find it quite annoying, although I did find everything and I got it back together, and I was cussing adjusting this band up. So just know that when you adjust this band, if you do it yourself, be very careful. Those collars, they're so friggin' tiny and they're such a pain in the ass. But I've gone through this before, and I knew to go get a shoebox lid and do this in the shoebox lid so that if things flew apart, that it wouldn't go rolling across the room and never to be found, because that has happened to me. But I'm very happy with this watch. To me, like I said, stated, it's kind of like a mini Grail. And I hate to say it, I'm probably going to wear this to work today, even though I probably shouldn't. But I like this watch. I don't know if it's the name, but okay. Hey, that's it.